Hey, big smile right here at the ESL Pro League in North America. My name is Trace. You might know me as Stunna. I'm your host here at the desk. If you're just joining us, you just missed a Misfits just 2-0 over the Renegades. But nonetheless, let me introduce you to my partner in crime. Here is Vendetta, all the way from Norway. Found his way to Los Angeles. I think he's a little lost, but, you know, it is what it is, right?
Still big smile here as well. Big smiles all around.
It's hump day, so naturally you have to kind of
have to be happy.
Have to smile about it.
It is. That's true. It's true. Pretty good matchup we got coming up as well.
Definitely
so
Cloud9.
Definitely reasons to smile.
Cloud9, Luminosity. We're going at Train. We're going at Inferno. Starting with Train.
Yeah, liking both of those maps, actually. Liking them actually pretty well for C9. Looking at this initially. Obviously, we know that Train has been very good for them. They've been undefeated so far in EPL on it, so that's a good start, right?
It's definitely a good start. Let's take a look now at that Cloud9 roster as it is told. I don't think... How long has this one been around?
It's been around for quite some time. I guess they do
close
keep it
to a year.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. They do keep it interesting at some times. You know, having Valence play every now and again. But
you got to spice it up.
Yeah, but you know, for the better part of the core, this lineup has been together forever, and it's nice. I mean, they're still producing results, so you know they're on the right path.
They're definitely on the right path. A little bit reassuring too when you look at this team, and I'm sure internally they're kind of like, okay, we've got Ska back, Tyler's back in the map.
Especially when you're playing Train.
Especially when you're playing Train, and especially being that I'm thinking he's going to be on point. I don't think that this is anything where we've seen him see a tremendous amount of downtime where he's going to have something that's holding him back. I think Skadoodle's hungry to play, and that's the Skadoodle we're going to get today.
Oh, no, definitely. And I mean, even when he had a week's absence previously in the league as well, when he came back, it's still, same old Ska in that sense. No dip in performance by any means. And Train's kind of his go-to map, so I think that's going to be great for him to start off on. It's obviously, prominent offer map. That he's going to be able to showcase his ability. So I think that's cool to see. And obviously, C9 are looking to be as strong as possible going into DreamHack Austin and the upcoming weekend as well. And in addition to, qualifying for Pro League. Because if they can get a 2-0 here, they're only one win away from, securing their ticket to Dallas.
Which is most definitely the ticket that you want to be on. Let's take a look now at the Luminosity side of things here. Destiny, Pickle, Yell, Shaz, and Showtime. Yeah,
and again, the kind of guys who stick out for Luminosity, at least so far in this season of Pro League, has been Pickle and Yell in many ways. But it's the same story as many of the other teams really who've seen surprising success, and that's the where you see the Opper, which is Yell on this team, kind of take charge and lead the way for your team. And we've talked about it so much, what a dominant Opper can do for your side in terms of just opening up rounds or shutting down the opponent team, depending on what side you're playing, right? And how impactful that can be for your side, even though you're not necessarily favored going into it. But if you have the edge in the Opper duel, you can get pretty far with that.
Well, 100%, it goes without saying that having an AWP on the extremities of the map, locking it down, I think is kind of what you're going at, right?
Yeah. It's just so lower third with like Yell is good at offing, at Blue CSGO.
Blue CSGO. Just snuck himself a little quote in there. No big deal.
No, but I mean it's a solid observation and he's not wrong. So you can't argue with it. And,
well, here's a different comparison, right? We can look at the AWPers. We can talk about the the Oppers.
Yeah.
God forbid I say AWPers.
Anyway, you're a military man. You know what it's called.
Listen. When we look at this matchup, we also have to weigh in on the entry fragging abilities.
Oh, no, definitely. And I think, well, in this battle, kind of an unfair advantage if you look at the entry fraggers for Luminosity, which would be Destiny, and then you have for C9, obviously, Stewie. I think it's a bit of an unfair battle because not many people in the world rank up to where Stewie's at and what he's doing as of right now. So, again, I think, when you look at that head-to-head, that's obviously a big favor for Cloud9, a big starting point for Cloud9 to work off their T sides and how they're going to get, finding their flow and everything. And I think that might be an issue for Luminosity as well, where they're actually going to find openings if Destiny's not going to be able to do so.
Well, there are certain teams around the Pro League, and we've noted Cloud9 to be one of them. I mean, we've talked about Taco making openings for SK or, even Fur doing it.
Yeah.
We look at Cloud9, we say, okay, well, automatic, Stewie, you guys can both open doors. You can really kind of lead the way out there. But I think it'll be interesting to see how they use Shroud in this post BTS environment.
Definitely so, and we did see it on a couple of maps that C9 did experiment with sending Shroud out, like on Cobble, for instance, him being more or less the first point of contact whenever going B plateau, that kind of thing, and seemingly worked out pretty nicely as well. So you would have expected expected that they might have seen some positives in that and want to try it out. I wouldn't be too opposed to it. If you can kind of force a player as skilled in terms of aim and whatnot as Shroud to be more assertive on the map, I think that can do good things for him, especially if he joins in as kind of the tag team partner of Stewie. He knows he has someone with him that can hold his back.
Well, looking at this, we're going to see Train first in this doubleheader. Train could very much favor, depending if the AWP is on over there on the Cloud9 side of thing.
Yeah, even if Ska's not firing in all cylinders, I still think this is going to be a favorite map for Cloud9. Just overall extremely solid on the map. They've beaten SK on it. They've beaten Immortals on it. They've beaten everyone really they've gone up against so far, even the biggest of opponents in Pro League so far. So for Luminosity, I think this is a bit of a mountain to climb.
Well, let's bring in the commentators now. Blue and Day standing by. I hope I caught them off guard. How are you guys doing over there?
You actually did. I thought there was going to be a Stromberg setup or segment.
We threw a curveball in there, kind of like those Stromberg segments anyway. They're pretty much curveballs.
I didn't have my headset on until like 5 seconds ago.
Crazy how that works. Okay, Blue, who takes this one? Luminosity or C9?
Probably C9.
Where's the bit? We need some facts, something.
I'm just
Blue. How about we just ask Blue all the questions from now on? Blue,
Let's do it.
I got a good one for him. Right?
Blue,
what advantages do you think C9 or Luminosity has over C9, if any?
I feel like their op presence is gonna be better. To be honest, on this map. I feel like in the current form of the two players.
You heard it here first.
Wait, you have to consider the fact that
way worse than Yell.
Well, I mean,
brought to you by Blue.
You did see his tweet, but you did see the quote, the lower third with Blue, making the observation that Yell is a good opera. So, it might be a slight bit of bias there. I don't know.
It's coming back now. So.
Okay, first off.
Wait, when was this?
First off, hold on.
That was like 2 hours ago in the production room is where that was.
You guys are clowns. And secondly, it's time to have
see, this guy, he doesn't want to be here.
Look at him. That is not what I said at all. I just have a front row ticket to this matchup, and I'm so excited to get in there and watch that. You know what, Sam Marine? I'm going to let you take it from here for Luminosity versus Cloud9.
All right. Well, just those of you at home, as soon as he gets off the mic, he literally drops it like this and puts on like warm-up gear like he's an NBA player or something like that. Like, it's crazy.
It is so cold in here. It is ridiculous. I feel like I'm hanging out in the morgue right now.
It is. It is like 64 degrees in the studio, and there's an air vent just blowing right at us.
It'll keep you on edge.
Yeah. Just makes me...
It's too comfy, then you just doze off.
I don't know. It just makes me shivering.
All right, well,
I don't know how that helps the cast.
Let's get back to Counter-Strike, as it is indeed going to be Luminosity versus Cloud9. Cloud9 just 3 more wins away from a guaranteed playoff spot here, and they could gain 2 of those right here, right now. Luminosity, they are sitting like some of the other teams on the edge of even being able to qualify, period, so they definitely need to win this one as well. In some cases, it's a more important match for them than it is for Cloud9, so both teams definitely going to brawl to the bitter end, and you can expect a good matchup because of that. Let's get into it. Cloud9 going to be starting off on the T side as we head to Train for the 2nd time this evening.
That was freaking poetic, Blue.
Thanks, man.
Both teams going to brawl to the bitter end and all that?
Yeah.
It's practicing.
You gotta bust those out. You gotta make it interesting for the viewers at home. Tell them the stakes on the line. Well, into the pistol round we go, as Cloud9 is going to push themselves over here to the box halls early on. PKL also taking the duel. Definitely spotted that big stack of players. The overall plan.
Notice also there's, for whatever reason, OG doesn't have a smoke. And I mean, the most common strat that you see on Train is a smoke molly take towards inner and then just save the molly for post plant. So I think that's a bit of a blunder by them.
Yeah, and now, thankfully for them, it is going to lead Cloud9 after being spotted in those box halls into an outer take where it just seems like it's a trap almost. 2 instant kills for the CT side. Only one of them gets traded back by Shroud. Looking for more as well. But the plant, but he spots PKL up on top and cancels it. Goes in for his 2nd pickup now on this round. The others on LG are trying to pinch from the Ivy hallway, but Shroud's got the bomb down. He's ready for it. Nothing's able to even hold this off for a few extra seconds here too. Shroud finally going to go down at the hands of Destiny, putting this into a 3v2 advantage for LG, but positionally, they're still not in the best spot right now. Skadoodle picking up one more kill and goes for another one as him and Nothing work together to close out on those last few players and give C9 control of the 1st round.
Yeah, neither of the players even had armor there on Skadoodle and Nothing. Both guys opting for smokes and flashes. PKL, a pretty big mistake while he was boosted up there. Doesn't full commit to kill Shroud, just shows his shoulder beforehand. Shroud sees exactly where he is and is able to get that kill, and that kill really shaped up the round. If Pickle gets that, he has the jump on him. He has the opportunity to kill him, and if he does kill him, they probably win that pistol.
And early on, Yell is going to post himself up on top of the green train now, looking to see if he can find any picks early on here. Obviously, if he gets it through the paneling, it's going to be a little bit lucky finding players in that route, but at the moment, no shots hitting.
Do we know if Automatic is still calling for C9?
Yeah, it should be.
Cool.
It's calling last weekend.
So it looks like we're just going into a 2-1-2. Nothing in Automatic going towards Ivy. They're going to scout it out.
No actual movement in to take control just yet, though, but still plenty of time to actually move in for that. And Yell really just all over the place right now with the scout, remaining very mobile.
They have to respect every angle. You know, they can't just, you know, dry peek or anything like that. They have to use their utility, and then that takes away the surprise factor.
Now, as the smokes and mollies do start to move back in, with nothing in Automatic, are going to move in very slowly through this Ivy hallway, leading up to the cross hall itself over here in A. But Destiny waiting for this one, just having a lot of trouble hitting those shots with the Deeg. It's SHZ that actually picks up the first kill here, but unfortunately he's also lost 2 teammates in the process of that round. Now
nice
Yell
shots.
hits the headshot on the Stewie, who tries to leap onto the bomb train unsuccessfully. This will be brought back down to an even 3v3. Still heavy advantage to C9 though as they get themselves onto the site, but they have a very limited amount of angles to actually play off of here in the post plan. A lot of their focus doesn't really seem to be on these other hallways now, as we do see both Yell and SHZ trying to creep back in together. SHZ already finding one pickup, goes for the second one as he closes out onto Automatic, and now it's just Skadootle waiting out in the sandwich, who does successfully trade on SHZ and gets the headshot now onto Yell. It's up to Showtime to clutch, but at the moment, oh! Showtime just walks right out and gets the headshot onto Skadootle, and we will see the immediate eco upset, putting LG up to 1-1.
First off, Scott is super clutch, and that was pretty impressive to even get into that point. And he actually had an advantageous angle against Showtime. He saw a shadow before he even peeked. That's first off. Second off, the post plant and the plant situation for C9 was very hectic. It was basically all 3 players right next to the plant spot. So you really didn't have anybody watching ladder. You didn't have anybody watching Ivy lane. You don't know if they're flanking team mid. You don't know if they're coming up old bomb. They're literally all 3 together, and they can't watch all those spots properly, right? They have to worry about so many positions, and that's really why they lost that round. If they were able to just get one guy there who could plant the bomb with 2 guys covering them from range, even if that planter dies and they're in a 2v3, they probably close that out. So we do see a force buy come up from Cloud9 after losing against the eco of LG. Well, not eco, but force buy. And now we're going to see, I would think, a plant strat towards outside.
Now just waiting for C9 to actually get themselves in position to move in for the execute here, as they are stacking their players outside of just the T-Con setup area right now. And for LG, again, not really making any huge moves here at the beginning of the round, just kind of remaining actually fairly mobile, again, with those outer players kind of shifting their positions around quite a bit. Now that they have the superior gun power, and it's basically up to them to hold off and prevent C9 from getting the early advantage here. If they can isolate this and be able to push up a few rounds right at the start, this is going to be good for them, especially when we do get into the actual gun round phase of the half, to try and keep a better scoreline overall here across the course of this map. But we do indeed see Cloud9 finally starting to go in for the execute here. Most players working out from T-Con. Yell getting a little bit curious though as he moves beyond the smoke. Overall, early advantage definitely going into the way of LG. So far only seeing nothing being able to trade out onto 1 kill. That seems like it's going to be the only kill being traded out as Destiny holds behind the bomb train and picks up those last 2 kills very nicely.
Yeah, great hold by LG. It looked like they wanted to do a throw their smokes and then make LG use their utility and then re-smoke and actually hit it. I think the timing was a bit off when it came to what they were hitting and when the smokes were deployed for C9. And now we're going to see a full eco come out for them. Luminosity up 2-1 with a full buy and a lot of money, I believe, in the bank as well. So Luminosity is in a pretty good spot right now.
With a good spot secured and their ability to take the advantage in the early rounds definitely being almost a certainty at this point. Yell's going to move out. He finds himself biting off a little bit more than he can chew in this situation, so going to call in SHZ to support a bit. We've also got the player back there. Automatic able to dink Yell from range, but it still only brings him down to 42 HP. Not going to be worried so much about that. They spot the additional player here. I mean, Cloud9 already just losing a whole lot right at the beginning of this round. The Eagle goes into the hands of Automatic now, but Showtime able to swipe in, kill the Boxall's player that I'm sure was spotted earlier on. These last 2 are going to try to do a little bit of a mini pinch through both T-Con along with the Ivy, but with this kind of gun power, almost certainly going to fail. As we do see the first player almost serving essentially just as bait to try and get the CT into the open and right into the crosshairs of the Deagle there. But now they're just pushing in to try and close out on this as quickly as possible. And it is just left to Automatic, who, when finally tested with an opportunity to hit a headshot there, fails at it, and SHZ takes him down.
Yeah, Cloud9 not even getting a single kill on that round. So they're going to buy up. I don't even think it's the best buy either. I think it's just like AK armor, very limited utility as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be... Well, they get pretty decent utility on some players,
pretty
but
decent. Better than I thought. And they actually have an off. So yeah, they get a pretty good buy here. No off on LG though.
yeah, they're still working with a few weapons from some of the last rounds here. I know SHZ has had that up before for at least 2 rounds now. And the ump, obviously, on Yell's been there for a while, so still kind of playing with that. But again, they get the early kill. They catch the T's, try to move out towards Ivy early on, and immediately knock out nothing. Skadoodle got hit, I think, by a nade, too, so he loses 20 of his HP early on. And the second Ivy player doesn't want anything to do with that setup from the CTs, so just falls completely back. And the remaining 2 that were still posting up to push into the A-bomb site are just going to head up through the White Halls and probably regroup with the main force just outside of B.
Yeah, so they'll probably just try to go down inner. Ska might throw the one way, give himself a little room to work with on that lower ramp to kill the rotates. And if they can get a clean entry onto Showtime and Pickle and kind of put into a 2v3 or something, then they could definitely win the round.
Well, down they're going to go into the ramp and into the gauntlet, it seems. It's a 2-for-1 trade. The only one that escapes the kill so far was the upper player. That's Stewie moving in to trade on the Showtime. But now Skadoodle going to move in. Does sneak in the kill on a PKL, but immediately traded up by Destiny afterwards. And it's another relatively, in the grand scheme of things, pretty clean round from Luminosity.
Yeah, and when you try to take inner like that, if they have 2 players there, they throw the Molotovs. Ska wasn't able to trade onto Showtime as he kind of wide peeked Top Dog. That was a very important frag that happened. And if you can't get like a clean entry there, your chances of winning the round just go down so much. But that's how a lot of teams take it. That's how SK usually takes inside, actually. It's just like one flash and just go. And just barrel down lower and trade kill.
Well, now Yell's swinging over here, but he's a little bit late to the party as SHZ has already picked up the kill against nothing. The rest of Cloud9 trying to make up for this, specifically Automatic and pushed out from T-Con, hunting for heads again with the Deagle, but nothing hitting at this point in time. Luminosity still with full control of Outer, and they just get another double kill here. That's Stewie, Shroud gone down, Automatic ends up peeking into it. Would have been an elongated exchange there, and now Yell just going to swing up here with his P250. Finally, a Deagle kill comes out from Skadoodle here, but overall, that's going to be it. Again, Luminosity do clean up shop after that, now with a 5-1 advantage heading into the next gun round.
I feel like, you know, Cloud9 usually when we watch them is able to use those Deagles and get 2 kills and make rounds and, like, you know, by hurting the other team's economy and whatnot. But so far this game, I mean, they only have, what is this, 13 kills on the board, and Automatic doesn't even have 1 himself.
He's about to go 007 right now. If he drops that one more time, and they're getting a kill. So Yell going to be creeping back up early on, caught out by Stewie, however. So the sudden surprise does catch Yell off guard and is going to give Cloud9 an advantage to work with.
Yeah, Fallen likes to do that push a lot. SK does that with a Mag 7 or an op. They just run up lower ramp with a flash from above and just get that kill. And you'll see a lot of what LG does is going to be, you know, things that they see like SK do and whatnot, right? Because that's what you do, you know, when you're trying to come. And remember, this team was in Premier last season, and like every time we cast them, I say their rate of improvement is staggering. Like how much they have improved this past 6 to 8 months, and it's something that you love to see.
Not accounting that as well, but they're also probably trying to get in shape for Austin next week, which is like their first big Premier International LAN. So. Or this weekend, actually, excuse me. But still, PKL going to run around on the big flank. Finds Skadoodle. Skadoodle doesn't even hear the footsteps, so no reaction from him at all. As he picks up that kill, it's not for free. Automatic being able to find the trade, though. Stewie, along with Automatic again, picking up multiple kills here, and overall, they just clean up on the round as they'd already established good B positioning, so Luminosity just weren't able to rotate into that one. But finally, another round for Cloud9 does come up onto the board. But still, now you're going to have to work down the CT economy, which has been built up quite heavily.
Yeah, absolutely. And bit of a blunder by Cloud9 to allow that flank to get that initial kill. But regardless, they're able to take that round pretty cleanly. you know, living with 3 alive. They give up the Opto back to Skadoodle. Now this round's going to be very important. If LG can win this round, they could probably have a really, really good half. Now they're going to look for another Ivy kill. They've had success being aggressive in Ivy throughout this game so far. And Yell's going to go for it once again.
And at the moment, Cloud9 creeping over towards it. They are going to probably go for this predictable peek too, but Stewie just barely peeks out into it. Not enough that he would be spotted. The problem is nothing goes all in. And while he does actually spot SHZ, which is now going to be capitalized upon by Skadoodle, overall, the first kill, by the way, does go by the way of LG, and they're continuing to find these trades on the site. Bit of a chaotic situation is created here, but Stewie able to burn another player out. That's now Yell being eliminated. PK able to hold for an additional trade, bringing this to a 2v2. Skadoodle, if he had moved into this position a second or two early, he might have been able to catch an additional guy on LG out in the open in this spot, but not the case anymore, as now they've fallen closer back towards Z, boosting themselves up behind the ticket booth there. And Cloud9 using almost all of their utility to try and just clear them back out and force them into the B site, even smoking off ladder to prevent them from going for that quick rotate and lining up a flank. They held behind that boost up though, so they're still going to be sticking in that position. And Stewie taking the plant first off here, being spotted by Showtime, but Showtime just didn't really seem to have a great angle to actually find damage on the Stewie, so he's given plenty of time to retaliate upon that. And PKL just found in the open by Skadoodle as he's able to finish off the round for C9.
Yeah, and the reason Ska's not really going to get a kill in that situation isn't necessarily because he what LG is thinking is Stewie was an Ivy, so Stewie is going to be there, and he could already be there, right? So why would we like challenge something like that? So Ska's kind of going in the spot that Stewie's going to go in. I thought LG did a clever play there in order to win that round with the boost. I think that should have worked out for him. I think Showtime probably missed a kill that he normally gets. And then, of course, once it's in the 2v1, that player, you know, Cloud9 knows exactly where he is because he boosted him. And all of a sudden, that's just like an easy clutch for C9. Ska just getting on top of the green train, peeking him for a very easy kill.
And so now, once again, C9 does look to set up at the moment for just the default play at the beginning of the round here. And Showtime being forced to use his Molly early, but definitely much further down the ramp than he would have liked to toss it in. Just had to panic a bit there, and then backing up, ends up banking it off the wall.
Yeah, so LG Yell gets aggressive. He opts towards Sandwich. I like this a lot. He could win the round by himself for his team if they go, you know, outside here. It's going to allow them, it should allow them to have 2 inner. We're going to see Pickle go back there.
It's not going to leave him exposed to the ladder room push, but on the first shot, he makes the connection. That's automatic going back down, and now this is going to cause a bit of hesitation for the rest of the players moving out through T-Con. Skadoodle's trying to check for it, hunting for that trade. Can't find it currently, but there's going to be a lot of players moving out. Destiny already able to catch one more, however, and going for it a second. Yell just bails him out big time. Destiny was out of ammo and was almost going to get traded by Shroud, but Yell saves him at the very last second. Now it's a 5v2. At the very least, nothing is able to catch SHZ finally, and these are not, it was not any of the 2 players that had already been lit either, so you still have, you know, Yell and Destiny that are very easy to take back down. This is still a situation that could be recoverable, at least leading up to the plant itself, as nothing is wrapped back around. Has 3 kills already in this situation. PKL has given himself up inside of heaven over there. They're low on time though, but nothing again strikes. He's going to go for the ace here. He gets it. Nothing goes massive and brings out a huge round for C9.
Just a ridiculous round from nothing. But you know what? That all started with that SHZ peak, just going top 6. That's what started it. When nothing gets that kill on SHZ, what should happen is those players that are close, like Yell, they're in spots where it's very difficult for them to get a kill, right? It's very difficult for them to succeed. But what you do have is you have players that are going to be able to capitalize off their deaths. So if SHZ doesn't die there and he waits until Yell takes contact and then peeks, he's going to get a free kill. And Yell already did his job. He got a kill, right? He said what the strat is. You sacrifice Yell, you let him die, you get the trade kill, and all of a sudden you're in a 4v1 and you're going to win the round every time when you do that. Instead, he wanted to like be the hero and go up top 6 and gets punished for it. And it all starts with that. That's all it takes.
Stewie with a dirty reaction there against SHZ as well. Seemed like SHZ had Stewie dead to rights, brings him down to 1 HP, but at the very last moment reacts to it. Picks up the kill as now Yell going to be moving it up on top as well. Has the angle to find one with the deagle, but then not afterwards. Destiny also tries to pick one up from up close. Not going to happen. Stewie even over to the Glock to find another kill here against PKL. And it's just down to Showtime. He's completely detached from all this, trying to wrap through CT and find players by the old bomb train, but probably not going to happen. More than likely Cloud9 closing this one out and now tying it up at 5-2 all between the two teams.
Yeah, and it was looking great for LG. You know, now we're going to be tied up with Cloud9 at a, you know, pretty good economy. And all it takes is that one round, 5v2.
So Showtime with not a whole lot that he can do, just attempts to peek into it. Does get the dink, I think, on a Skadoodle there, but unfortunately not the actual kill. So 4 going to survive it. Already looking at a pretty huge economy build up here for C9 just within the first couple rounds that they picked up. And this is, you know, flipped the situation that we had going previously at the beginning with Luminosity having control and having that economy. Now it's starting to break as they're down and they're going to have basically nothing after this last run here, and we'll have to eco again if they don't pick up the pace here. We will get back into the action now pretty quickly as C9 just go back into that usual split. Stewie, I think, realized that Showtime was up close and was hoping he would get him peeking into the open, but not going to happen. And much like many of these gun rounds in the past, you are going to see a bit of a delay period before we actually see some combat happening between the two teams. Cloud9 taking a while to sort of posture up and get into a setup where they feel happy to execute, and also obviously just watching out since LG have been a little bit more aggressive so far on the CT side. But after that, obviously, no strangers to running down the clock here, wanting to actually get themselves set up for it before they fully commit themselves into any sort of take. On the LG side, not looking like they're actually going to make any aggressive moves. Just a 2 stack down on B, and the usual stack here on A to defend more so towards the bomb site than getting aggressive towards like T-Con and Ivy. Beginning of it, it's SHZ, who's actually been, you know, one of the more dominant players so far here from LG. That starts off with the first kill. Shroud is going to move in and look to change that as he picks up one for himself against PKL. Doesn't check for Showtime as he's going to get a double now. Shroud from up on top and then Stewie down below, taking both of them out of the picture. And now just leaves Automatic and Skadoodle left alive here for the C9 roster. We've seen this situation before, however, and it's already been turned around once, so you don't want to count them out of it just yet. As they both try to work together, Skadoodle focusing on the left side, but unfortunately the loss of Automatic and Skadoodle missing that shot. It's SHZ to roll out with 2 more. Ends up with 3K overall in the round, and Luminosity do get to preserve their lead.
Yeah, and they won the round with only losing 1 player. So because of that, you know, it's a really good round to win. Cloud9 just kind of goes, hey, everybody just kind of spread out, work your spots, go for aggro picks, and nothing really pans out for him, right? Shroud gets that 1 kill at upper, but then Showtime quickly trades it, kills Stewie. Nothing gets entry to Ivy, and Ska, super aggressive.
Just going out into the open there, it doesn't work out at all for him. It's actually nothing that gets the first kill once more into this round. And that player in ladder room just can't get out at all. Shroud is basically stuck there. Nothing, just making a move, though. Gets all the way around without being spotted. Second kill before going down. Destiny's been really good at these pressure situations like the last 2 or 3 rounds, though. So he gets himself another double kill. And now you're just looking at Shroud alone. Finally was able to get himself outside of ladder room. But unfortunately, the rest of his teammates have already gone down, so we'll see how much he can do. And again, leave the bomb train itself wide open here, but pushes through and is spotted out by Yell. So he's going to finish off this round and put Luminosity into one of their leading situation.
Yeah, Cloud9 going very, very fast outside, aggressive. I still think they had, what, 2 Ivy? Was it? I think 2 team mid, 1 ladder? Ska running out. Should have killed that guy on E-Box, but fortunately for him, missed that shot. That's the thing, though. You know, people in chat might be thinking, like, what is he doing? Or something like that, like thinking it was like a dumb play. But I mean, if he gets that entry and those guys come out Ivy, he could definitely easily win that round, right? And as SHZ just cleaning up by pushing Ivy, already a 3v5, and has bomb down. You never want to be, like, afraid to look dumb in Counter-Strike, you know?
Yeah.
If you let, like, you know, your fear of, you know, making a dumb play or something where, you know, you do that where you jump outside and you're bunny hopping around and you miss a shot and you're basically dead because of it, right? If you let, like, that fear of, you know, looking like an idiot or whatever kind of dictate how you play and you care about, like, what people are going to say or something like that, it's, I don't know how you become a big, you know, a good player. Like, things happen like that. Like, Get Right sometimes will just not peek in a 1v1 and we'll just get straight diffused on, you know? But it's the risk you need to take sometimes, right? And you can't be afraid to look like a fool at times.
a really good point, actually. So right into the action again here now for LG as Destiny makes a move, gets himself up forward, down to 5 HP this way. He needs to back out. Can't really take that second duel against Shroud. Smoke was deployed. I think it got deployed really far forward, but it works out, though, because now Yell can just peek into Shroud and take him down. Already 5v3. Like I said, they did good damage on a Destiny, but he was completely detached from the action now. So fat chance that they're going to be able to find the easy trade onto him. And now the rest of C9, well, they try to go for this quick wrap towards inner, and hopefully deploying to the site, which actually the ramp push seems it's like it's open at first. Bit of a late peek from Z. Showtime just deletes automatic, though. The instant headshot onto him. Nothing's going to be able to push up to the site with the bomb. Doesn't even spot Showtime at first, and now it's just Skadoodle alone in a 1v5 scenario. Lines up into 2 headshots, though, which is amazing in itself. Showtime is going to trade it, and the round does end with 3 alive for LG, but that was incredible from Skadoodle.
Yeah, Cloud9 playing very, very loose these last few rounds. Nice shot by Showtime. Jesus. LG is hitting some nice shots.
It's like Showtime and SHZ, I think.
It makes me really happy like when LG does well, actually, just because, I mean, they're like a 3rd place premier team. I mean, I know they did great in the regular season, but still, you know, they ended up, what, 3rd, 4th, or something like that?
Yeah, they got upset. They got upset by like Rush or something.
Yeah, but I'm just, I mean, it's like, to see how hard they have worked and how much they play and how much that they have improved, I'm telling you. Wow.
Okay. So Stu is just going to hop right down and get rid of Destiny right at the start. Molly moves in. Yell, I think, hits him through the wall. The Molly finishes the job anyway. So the non-full connection from the op is not too big of a deal.
Yell is just playing great when he's just opping around Sandwich and close up and whatnot.
And so now Cloud9 forced into making an interplay again. This time it's going to go a lot better, though. Showtime was distracted by a nade at first. Commits that super long-range spray, though, and takes out Skadoodle. But they're going to be able to, at the very least, catch the plant. Now it's about just maximizing the damage and, at the very least, trying to close out on this round. If they...
It's a really smart idea from Showtime to play retake, though.
He holds back. He's surprised by nothing up on top and looks to retaliate, but it's not going to come from the guy up on top. It's actually one of the players on site. He knocks out first. Automatic, Shroud both going down. The prompt Molly deployment coming out from nothing, and they don't actually have a smoke to stop this originally, but thankfully there's still plenty of time left. Molly's not going to be a huge deal. Nothing tries to move in and makes a play, but doesn't end up working out. And we'll see LG defusing the bomb with plenty of time left over to get up to double digits.
The way LG loses that round is if Showtime is playing up close and they bum rush him and get the bomb down like that.
So we are going to be closing out the half here, 10-5 for LG. Stick with us, guys, in the second half between these two teams is coming up in just a moment right here at the EPL.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Legion Lenovo, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA.
Looks like our last set. It is a dominating start to one of our two teams here, but it may not be the one you expect. It's actually LG that come off strong here to start off Train with a 10-5 lead coming off of their CT side, and now they have to try and capitalize upon it and close out here to keep their playoff dreams alive in the late season.
Yeah, SHZ 20-7, playing very, very well besides that one round when nothing was able to ace in that 5v2. But yes, playing very well on that 6 train, Ivy area, backing up Yell, playing with Yell. And Showtime actually did a great job at inner as well.
Yeah.
more people need to realize and do retake setups when they have Tech-9s and things like that. Like, you're going to get kills when they come down. They're just going to flash and bulldoze down. They're not going to smoke the side lane. They're probably not. So you can get a kill there. You can make sure they're not pushed up. You can communicate with your teammates where they are. And then, honestly, Enter's not the most difficult thing to retake when they don't have an op. When they don't have an op posted up on, like, Pop Dog, and they don't have a Fallen in sight, or a Cold with an op just, like, owning you, right? And they just have, like, Tech-9 and stuff like that. Retake is probably the best setup to do. So we do see this T-side start with LG and double smokes, Molotov, and 2 flashes on LG. They kind of spread out a little bit. I think there's 3 towards Enter.
Yeah, it is looking like they're just going to have 3 towards Enter. As an update from the second stream, by the way, we did have the first map between Liquid and Immortals conclude, and it was a dominating one from Team Liquid. 16-3 in their favor. So Liquid is looking good as well. I don't know the map. It's off my head. So
I'm liking these updates, though,
you
man.
liking that, man?
I'm liking it.
Do more of that. But yeah, they closed that one out, and I mean, those are also 2 teams that are trying to play for playoffs. I think Immortals is pretty secure regardless at this point. They just have the risk of being slightly overtaken. They don't win any of their remaining matches, but for Liquid, it's very important that they still win out some at this point in the season. So it's good that they're taking that one and keeping their dreams alive here. But finally, the first kill of the round, or first kill of the half, actually does come in. But it's going to be a little bit scrappier between the 2 teams. Cloud9 holding close to the bomb train. It doesn't even seem like LG even realized it, though, as suddenly they pop out, get 3 kills seemingly out of nowhere. Yell and SAG trying to surprise, and also they stopped that plant just in time. I don't know if Skadoodle had a kit, but if he did, that bomb had to have less than 1 second left on it. Now we're down to the 1v1, and at the very last second, SHZ pops out, takes the head off of Automatic, and clutches it out for LG.
Yeah, 2v4, I think, for LG. The Ivy kill happens. Stewie has to look Ivy, and then the Hell player wraps on him and hits him in the head after some nice pistol work by C9 players. And Scott always has a kit on Pistol Round Blue, so I guarantee he did.
So into the second round we will go, and Cloud9 obviously know its importance after losing out here at a 10-5 starting scoreline. This could get very bad very quickly for them if they don't at least attempt to make the eco upset. So 2 scouts, 2 P250 armor buys. Obviously Skadoodle goes in a little bit lighter as he needs to save up for the op on the gun round, but for everyone else they buy into it. And actually Skadoodle catching this first kill up close in the ladder, nothing able to support too. Skadoodle just goes for it, and off the damage that was done by nothing, he's able to pick up a second kill before finally being traded up by Destiny. He's still sitting up there on upper. Now the rest, nades moving in, PKL and SHZ, but lit to hell and back.
Wow.
As Automatic just moves in and hits 2 shots back-to-back on the scout. And now Destiny just getting tagged through smoke. There's nothing really that he can do. More than likely, Cloud9 are definitely going to eco upset here.
Yeah, LG just opts for the inner rush, basically. I actually don't mind that. I know they lost the round, or will lose the round, but I actually don't mind that. Most teams play for like a very heavy outside rush on the anti-eco, so you're kind of just taking a gamble, right? But I would say more often than not, it's probably going to pay off. Stewie tries to go up the ladder to chase a little bit.
Yeah, now Destiny.
What I don't like is like when you rush team mid the first one. I think that's always a bad idea. And then like if they're going to force buy again, you do it for the second time because everybody just plays for it.
It's going to be a little bit easier to set up for that the next time around. So now it's just Destiny biding his time and hoping he gets a few more players from C9 trying to chase him and knock the AK out of his hands so that he can try at the very least to keep the overall money build up low here for C9 in these next few rounds. As obviously they're going to have to brawl for control of the early portion of the half. Doesn't look like Cloud9 really go hunting for him, however, with the exception of Stewie. So now it is just going to be Cloud9 obviously taking the round, but Luminosity is going to be able to save that 1 AK, and I'm sure they're just going to buy, well, as much as they can into this next round here, which isn't going to be that great. As you can see, at most, you're going to be looking at like Deagle armor pickups for a lot of these guys. Tech-9 pickups. That is indeed going to be the case as they do decide to force into it. SHZ, along with Yell, are going to go for the Deagle and Tech-9 respectively, but PKL and Showtime will only go for P250s. And right off the bat, they're getting really aggressive up to the ramp. That nade goes in, does like 0 damage, though it is waltz right past it and moving back in. Thankfully, they save that AK as it finds immediate impact here against Stewie. Another nade going in. That one does some damage, though, and takes out Yell in the process, along with lighting up quite a few more players. We did have Destiny moving in to commit with that AK. Unfortunately, he's only able to get one more kill, and now it's just a bunch of P250s and a Deagle trying to hold against rifles, UMPs, and a Scout. Definitely an interesting collaboration of guns, but PKL gonna sneak in here, surprises on automatic, gives the advantage back over to LG. And PKL's smart about this. Originally, at least, did not go out to battle. Yeah, then he made the mistake of going back into the battle where he could have just wasted the time of the C9 players. Not gonna happen. SHC had a great lineup as well, but doesn't capitalize on it either, and now Showtime gonna have to try and make a move, but he's just gonna get pushed upon inside of the smoke. Showtime's able to stop that. Now running away, he's gonna waste a lot of time. That bomb is pretty much gone, and as Skadoodle leaps into it, Showtime hits the shot, closes out. He's probably gonna lose this AK, but it doesn't matter, as they battled back again, and they've got the advantage once more.
Yeah, Showtime doing a great job in that 2v1. Gets out to a difficult position for the CTs to expect him to be there. Gets that kill through the smoke. But just the threat of Pickle being alive there on the flank is like enough to probably win the round, right? It really, really changes how you have to do that retake. Now Cloud9, Stewie, not a good inner hold. The nade comes late, the smoke comes late. His timings were just off by about a second. And that's all it takes in Counter-Strike.
So just getting a little surprised at the beginning of the round. Someone from C9, I think it was Stewie, just rushed up the ladder, but then promptly rushed back down when he spotted an opponent with a UMP waiting for him. No damage done to either side, though, so that'll rub that encounter off. And Luminosity, a much, much slower pace for them being taken this time, as they do try to set things up and look for aggression from the C9 roster much more heavily. If they are not able to spot any of it, then obviously they'll set themselves up for the more default execute here, but for now, just kind of hanging back and running the timer down.
Yeah, automatic is here every single time, by the way, on their, like, eco rounds. Every single time he'll be sandwich hiding.
This time just working with a P250. I think in the past he has had a Deagle to play out here. But even at that range, if he catches players pushing through Olaf or even in the other direction, as long as it's a close range battle, he can still very quickly knock out members of LG as long as he's able to read the situation properly. Speaking of LG, it does look like they are finally making moves to get into the bomb site here with a 3-man stack and T-Con possibly up to bat first. PKL, the smokes going in towards Z. And a few more are going to be popped off from up on top of the ladder here. There's automatic waiting for it. And as we said, the instant headshot. Skadoodle finding a kill here too, but now automatic overcommits, and just like that, 4 kills back at them from LG. Stewie trying to hold for one more, and he gets it. Now his lineup into a 1v2, and unfortunately underestimates the pace at which Destiny would push forward, so he is going to close the round out, and that'll give LG now complete control over this situation. But Cloud9 thankfully had enough money built up here where they're going to buy fully into this next round anyway.
Yeah, it was looking good, brings it to a 3v5, but they do watch the flank. I believe it was Nothing that was flanking inside, so he's not able to get a kill. And Cloud9 with a very successful eco round, though. Now they have a buy with, you know, 3 M4s and op and an ump, not much utility. So look for Ska to kind of be aggro here. He's top 6. He might battle Yell.
Yeah, Nail's already given away his position with the scout there too. I think he definitely saw someone through. There was a little bit of a tiny gap in the train to see someone down the Ivy tunnel, but wasn't able to actually capitalize upon it. And now, well, when the shot is taken from the op, it does connect, but it is through the wall. So
it's like very vulnerable right now. So Ska's gonna go back, but I don't know if I like this. I think it's a lot better to not have Ska playing a rotator spot, but have him opping sandwich, have him opping aggressive. You know, have him being like the point man, maybe opping back 6 where he helps Ivy, NT mid, and ladder, and could be outside, and then just have another player towards center. This way, you know, if you do that, a lot of the time he's going to be the first point of contact, and he can win the round just like straight up like that. And it's a lot easier to win a round that way if you're the guy with like the op than it is playing like rotation-wise, because a lot of the time your teammates might die because, you know, they have no utility to push them off, and then playing reactionary like that.
So now you've got Showtime trying to push in from Ivy, since T-Con has been a little bit more confrontational this time around. Nothing is able to catch the first player. Destiny responds from T-Con, but overall the Ivy push is a failure. And now they have to swing Destiny around to try and hold this position so they can at the very least still try to pinch on the bomb site. Automatic is still going to be problematic up on top of Heaven. I don't even think he's had to do anything yet. Well, when he does though, just gets deleted by Destiny. And now he's going to move back in, taking the battle against Shroud. He's able to hold for one. He knows there's a second somewhere. And this is actually the scout player. A little bit dangerous yet when Yell is able to move back in there. We've already seen how quickly he's able to move in for some of these kills. Unfortunately, Stewie's just as fast to move in for a trade. Now SHZ just going to duck his head down and waste as long as he can as he goes for this kill, stops the bomb from being defused, and gets the second kill as well. So beautiful stuff from SHZ, and he once again brings Cloud9 down to their feet as he picks up the 14th round for his team.
Yeah, just comes out with the telling you, the best gun ever. No matter the situation.
Just the secret weapon.
It's insane, man. So I'm telling you, Stewie's actually not playing that well this game, though. He usually just runs everybody over in North America. But missing a few crucial kills. The inner hold, for instance, was like a second off, just a little bit off right now.
Automatic. Where's Automatic at this point in the game right now, too? He's still behind a little bit. Yeah, he was like 0-6 for the first couple rounds, too. So he got himself a pretty slow start as well. We do have, again, Luminosity going for the slow opener, as we've already seen a few times. Bit of action back over there by the ladder room, but besides that, nothing really happening at all. Nothing being caught. I think he just tossed a nade out and was caught by Yell. So a bit unfortunate there. The timing does not work out for him. That will give immediate access outside of T-Con over to the guys from Luminosity, but still have yet to actually push this onto his site, as that kill kind of comes out from circumstance. And now they're trying to figure out how they actually want to try to work this, if they're going to continue forward and try to just go for outside control, or if they want to use these guys to just try and hold positions and then try to swing towards inner as well was another option. But it is looking like they are taking the earlier option of the two here. Actually, no, it is looking like they swung the bomb way back up on top, so they're going to hold it in there. And PKL just solo pushing right now into the site inside of Sandwich here. Gets himself an additional kill for the Luminosity side. And now the inner hit's going to come back in where they only had Stewie to defend it. Has to do a bit of a loop around to find the kill into Yell, but then immediately traded afterwards. Full site control already under the control of LG, and the last two rotating in are just going to find themselves in a bit of a nasty situation. They both get knocked out immediately. No saves for C9 as we do go up to the 15th round for LG. And Cloud9 aren't even going to have the best money on a lot of their players either.
Terrible money for Cloud9. And OG just playing fantastic. I mean, what more can you say about the guys, man?
Yeah.
15-6. Just as individuals, as a team, just playing very, very well. Like, it's really impressive.
Yeah, SHZ, Destiny, Showtime, been absolute monsters. Yell's been really good when he's put into pressure situations with the op. The whole team has really been showing up today. And Cloud9, as we were just mentioning, they're kind of missing a few of their crucial players in a lot of these situations. So it is allowing to have the scoreline that we have now, where LG is basically going to shut down C9. And that puts them back into the running, or like a good running as well for a playoff spot, which is something that some people may not have expected, even including myself there. Nothing is able to just push forward, though. Finds the early kill on Yell, but what he did miss is the PKL. However, he pushed up to Olaf. He's going to go for the second kill, and he gets it. Down to 14 HP, so he does have to calm down now, but that stopped T9 from finding the bomb outside there and brought the advantage back into favor of LG.
Look at that, Stewie completely rotated out of inner, and now the inner hit happens with Destiny and SHZ, and they're posted up.
They are looking away from it, though, so that gives Stewie a slight route to move back in and do some damage, but overall, he didn't realize this on his first re-peek inside, so SHZ is still able to punish him before he can actually get any kills done against them. Skadoodle catching the first shot against Destiny here, puts this into another 3v2, but in the meanwhile, the bomb wrapped back towards outer, where it's going to go down the ladder room outside here, and the guys from C9 are still focused on retaking here. They haven't even realized that it's gone to the other side. It's great for Skadoodle, gets that kill, but now he just blocked himself out of any potential retake. And he's going to obviously have to find a way to make it work with the scoreline at 15-6. As he'll push over, finds the smoke. This should be fading in any second, granted, so this is going to be a huge obstacle for him. But he's got no kit either. Still only working with the scout at this point in time. Goes on and just tags the bomb. We'll see who can get peeking out into the open. And I think he spotted PKL sitting over there, tapping onto the bomb again, but misses that shot. And that pretty much seals the deal. So it's a dominating map number 1 here for Luminosity, who are going to take it 16-6 at the end of the day and shut down C9. A very odd form for C9 that we're just not used to seeing here in the online Pro League.
Yeah, but I mean, LG really, really did play well. I mean, that was a map where they lost, you know, a 5v2, right? And it was a really important round. Like, if they didn't lose that 5v2, we might have even seen a more dominant scoreline. So, you know, congrats to LG, man. We'll see if they can keep it up in the second map.
All right, well, let's bring the analyst into the conversation now and open it up, of course, with Vendetta and get his thoughts on, you know, what exactly was going wrong for C9 there, just looking across the entire team.
A lot of things, really. First off, I think it's partly because of the, you know, due to the credit of LG. You saw initially or SHC, for instance, being very aggressive towards Ivy there, finding picks and whatnot. Actually, you know, making the job of C9 very hard to actually just get out on the site. And I think also one thing that Daze mentioned, the fact that C9 was playing very loose Counter-Strike. Again, not necessarily uncommon for them, but I think it got a bit too loosey-goosey for them, and that, you know, allowed or made their job a lot harder on T side.
Well, let's not take away and detract here from what Luminosity
absolutely
did
not.
there.
That was absolute insanity.
Cloud9 not playing up to snuff, and then you have Luminosity coming in hot.
And they were stepping up the gear. And the cool thing about it is, like, initially in the pregame, we're talking about you know, PKL, and we're talking about Yell. But in the end, it's the three others that you didn't necessarily, you know, give the same kind of spotlight to that come up big. SHC and Destiny, for instance, played and you had massive games, really. Showtime as well had multiple rounds where, you know, he's coming in big for the team. So this was just like all over, just a super solid performance from the Brazilians that I did not see coming at all, because this Cloud9 was undefeated on train leading up to this point.
Well,
not
every
anymore.
now and then the cookie does crumble. Let's take a look now at round number 9. Jordan, nothing Gilbert, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so Jordan kind of just turning back the clock for a couple of rounds here. And again, you know, this kind of goes to show how much of a comfortable position LG found themselves in. The fact that this is a 2v5 situation, or it's going to end up being a 2v5 situation in favor of Luminosity. And then SHC makes one of the very few mistakes he made all game. And that's peeking over 6-turn, which is going to give Jordan just the amount of space he needs to actually roam around and find an opening kill. So this kill right here, completely unnecessary. And obviously, you're up 5-2 and you're playing well. You're on a bit of a streak here. So it's easy to make happen. We saw that in the first game with Misfits as well. But again, you can see how much space that creates for Jordan to kind of just roam around, find 2 low HP targets. PKL has given away his position by shooting at Ska earlier in that round, and then Jordan just finishes off with a really solid headshot on the guy coming out of pop. I guess the only kind of thing you could detract from that is that probably the guy backstabbing from pop should have been out way sooner. But again, like when people are dropping like flies left and right, there's probably somebody on that TeamSpeak just going like, hold back, like get back, stop doing what you're doing. You know, no need to peek. And it's just a bit of a chaotic moment, but, you know, great round from nothing.
Chaos in the moment. Yeah. Almost combat on the battlefield, if you will.
Definitely so.
Definitely something here to look at. Now, nothing, obviously doing his part in that round, but what happened to this Cloud9 side?
But first off, just not finding very many openings compared to what we usually do. We talked about, or we saw the entry level stats, you know, comparison between Destiny and Stewie. Going into the game, Stewie didn't find anywhere near the same amount of openings that he would do initially. And nobody else really found them either. I think actually Jordan, for the better part of it, was one of the leading entry fraggers for Cloud9 in that game, and that's not how it's supposed to unfold for them. And they tried different, you know, varieties. We saw Scott pushing out aggressively through teammate with the op, which normally doesn't happen. But that was kind of just, I don't know, desperation out of Cloud9 to see if anything new could work in that sense. But just didn't pan out in that sense. But, you know, I think it's more of a one-off, a bit of an anomaly more than anything else.
Well, that does not make Cloud9's path to the finals any easier, so to say, but they're definitely not out of the running yet. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to be on Inferno for the last map of the night here, and it's going to be Cloud9 and Luminosity. So make sure that you don't go anywhere.